Shauna Leibold and I have been friends for about like a year now, and every time that I hang out with her, she's always just really happy. I don't think I've ever once seen her be sad or depressed or anything.
Shauna Leibold has experienced much change in the past years. The innocent life, where the harsh world had not yet invited her in. The border life, where risks began to submerge and she began to take them. And the good life, or bad life, depending on who's judging, where the limits of possibilities dissipated and the luxuries of freedom overtake the expected, systematic lifestyle that would eventually lead her to a place of complete isolation. Here she is today in our interview with Jasmine Winters to divulge the secrets of life after, during, and before breaking out of the mold. Good afternoon, Shauna. Thanks for your consent in this questionnaire today.
You're welcome.
How are you?
I'm wonderful.
Alright, to begin, I'd like to ask, what was like for you about 2 to 3 years ago in the 7th and 8th grade?
In the 7th and 8th grade, I was a definitely more innocent kid. I didn't do bad things, but my life kind of sucked. I didn't really fit in with the kids at school. I didn't really have a lot of friends. I didn't have the friends I wanted to be friends with.
What was the relationship with your parents like then?
My parents and I relationship was probably a lot less fighting than there is, but they didn't let me do a lot. They were more strict on me. They didn't let me do a lot. They didn't really understand me. Me and my parents were never really that close, but we never really fought when I was younger.
Was it hard to live the way they wanted you to?
Yeah, because my life was so boring. I would always have to stay at home on my weekend nights, and there wasn't, I couldn't do a whole lot, and it was just really boring and simple, and I didn't have, it was harder to have friends because I couldn't hang out with them a lot.
Now, we know that some would really want the life you had, but this is of course just before you discovered a rougher, more exhilarating life. How long did you successfully hide this from your parents before they grew suspicious?
I partied for about, I'd say, a good 6 months before my parents found out. And then I got an MIP, and that was the first time my parents ever caught me doing anything involving drugs. And they flipped out. They just flipped out.
Would you say that your parents were disappointed and upset with your behavior?
I would say they were definitely disappointed with my behaviors, but I don't really think it was because of what I did, because I think they kind of eventually knew it all happens in high school, because it does, and I don't think they were really surprised, but I think they were more hurt by the fact that I was growing up.
When was the first time you smoked weed?
The first time I smoked weed, I was in the 8th grade. It was definitely weird. Kind of peer pressured into it, but it looked like fun, so I wanted to.
What about the first time you drank?
First time I drank, I was in 9th grade. I kind of drank a little bit in the 8th grade, but I never really got drunk, but the first time I really got drunk was in the 9th grade.
Do you think it was more peer pressure or personal decision to start smoking?
I think it was more of a personal decision, because to be a weed smoker, I think you need to have the right mindset, and if you had a mindset of you were scared of your parents or you just didn't think it was the right thing to do, you wouldn't do it ever, and you would have that set in your mind. So I think it was a personal decision of mine to start smoking weed, because I didn't really care.
Do you think that your personality has changed much since you've started smoking and partying and, as your parents think, rebelling?
I definitely think my personality's changed. My life's gotten way better before it was very stressful. I worried a lot about stupid things that were pretty pointless. I didn't need to. I would just get more angry easier a lot. I was kind of more depressed, and I was way less outgoing. And ever since I started smoking weed, it's just made me really outgoing, and it's made me the person I wanted to be, and the happiness I wanted to have. And my life is just a million bajillion times better now.
Have you experienced any depression since you started smoking weed?
I would have to say definitely not. Ever since I started smoking weed, I've been way happy, maybe way too happy, because I just love my life so much now.
What about lack of motivation?
I would have to say my lack of motivation has gone down in school, just because I learned that I know what I want to be when I'm older, and I know that I don't really need any things in school, and I don't really need to try, because a lot of things I don't need to learn, and I know how I'm going to live my life.
Well, you know where your life is going, and you like where it's going, but would you promote this kind of life to someone else?
I wouldn't necessarily promote it, because people all are different, and people love to do different things, and for fortune, that might be a big thing for people. A lot of people I know just want to be successful and have really a lot of money when they're older, and that's just not the life for me. But whatever life you want to live and whatever things you like to do, I would say go for it.
How would you describe your relationship with your parents currently?
I think my relationship with my parents now, I feel like it's almost better. They kind of are more disappointed in me, I would say, but also I would say me and my parents have grown a lot closer, because them knowing about all the things I do in my life, it enables me to talk to them about a lot more and feel more open with them and more comfortable around them. But I would have to say we would probably fight a little bit more now, and they're probably a little bit more disappointed. Me and my parents do fight a little bit more, and are kind of a lot more disappointed in me, but that's how it is.
Shauna Leibold has been the exact same since the 7th grade personality-wise, other than getting more mature. I feel like she's almost gotten wiser, which may be too much to say, but I feel like deep conversations are easier to have with her now, and she understands more because she's had so much time to just think. Like, that's the thing about it. Once you start smoking, you just think about everything, and I think she's gotten a lot more mature, and she knows where she wants to go with her life, and if it leads her to happiness, then that's all that'll matter. It doesn't matter if she doesn't get the perfect job or get a lot of money. She just wants to be happy, and that's all I want for her as a friend.